Many of you know who this individual that we're going to be speaking about. You know his identity already, but we called this press conference to make an appeal to law enforcement and communities around the country to just check to see if they've seen this individual or anybody had contact with this individual, because anywhere that he's visited, there's potential that there are other victims around the country, and we want to do our due diligence and make sure that we let communities around the country know that they should be aware of who this person is, and if they had any contact or seen them in their community, they should call their local police department. But from there, I'm going to turn it over to our Chief of Detectives, Joe Kinney.
Thank you. Hi, good afternoon. I'm going to provide an update on a stabbing homicide that occurred inside of the Soho 54 Hotel in room 1109. The hotel is located at 54 Watt Street in Lower Manhattan. We believe that this murder occurred between 2:14 p.m. on Wednesday, February 7th, and 10:30 a.m. on Thursday, February 8th. We have identified and have probable cause to arrest a male for this crime. Here is what we know so far. On February 8th at 10:30 a.m., the victim, Denise Olias Aaron Sabia, a female Hispanic, 38 years old, a resident of Queens with no criminal history, was discovered by hotel staff deceased on the floor of her rented room in 1109. EMS and patrol units responded to the scene, and she was pronounced dead at 10:47 a.m. The medical examiner's office later determined this death was caused by blunt force trauma to the head. A broken iron was recovered at the scene, and recovered bits of plastic that were found embedded inside of her skull. Members of the 1st Precinct Detective Squad and Manhattan South Homicide arrived at the scene and began their investigation. Through video canvases, witness interviews, phone work, and tracking credit card usage, they were able to identify and obtain probable cause on our subject. He is Rod Noan Alman Soray. He is a male, 26 years old. The subject has no prior arrest history in New York. However, he has an extensive out-of-state arrest history. He has been previously arrested in Florida, Texas, and Arizona. His most notable out-of-state arrests include an April 2023 arrest in Sumter County, Florida, where he kidnapped and sexually assaulted a female. He was arrested on that charge and later posted his own bail, on that charge in September of 2023. On February 17th, 2024, just 9 days after our victim was discovered in New York City, he committed a knife-point carjacking in Phoenix, Arizona, where he stabbed his female victim. He managed to escape that scene. The very next day, in Surprise, Arizona, he dragged a female employee of a McDonald's into the ladies' room, held her against her will, and stabbed her several times. This time, he did not escape Arizona law enforcement. He was arrested in Scottsdale, Arizona, while driving a stolen car. While in the custody of Arizona law enforcement, he informs them that he is wanted for homicide in New York City and tells the cops that they should Google Soho 54 Hotel. This information, in addition to the alerts the NYPD had put on the subject, called Arizona authorities to contact us. We are currently working with our partners in the Manhattan District Attorney's Office to arrange extradition back to New York City so he can be charged for the homicide here. We are also working with the FBI and their Violent Criminal Apprehension Program to explore the possibility of discovering additional victims, as the subject told Arizona cops that he hurt 3 additional girls in Florida. The Violent Criminal Apprehension Program, known as VICAP, maintains the largest investigative repository of major violent crime cases in the United States. It is designed to collect and analyze data about homicides, sexual assaults, missing persons, and other violent crimes, including unidentified human remains. So, we are asking the public, as well as other law enforcement agencies throughout the country, to reach out to us if they have any further information on Rayad Noan Alman Soray. We can be contacted at 1-800-577-TIPS.
All right, with that, we'll take some on-topic questions on this individual. Rocco?
Where is he from? What brings him to New York? Why does he go back to Arizona?
He has residence. We have him tracked to Florida. We have him in Arizona. We have him in Texas as well. His family is currently in Arizona.
Does he do anything for a living?
Do not know.
Nicole?
Chief, is he targeting any specific age group of women? Is there like a pattern here that we're seeing?
In two of the incidents we know, the victims were escorts. The other victims in Arizona, like I said, one is a female working in the McDonald's, and one is a female just simply driving in her car that was attacked by this male.
John?
Chief, there's a Facebook post by a man under a similar name. He says the day before the murder in New York, he says, quote, would it hurt to jump off the Brooklyn Bridge? Have you guys been monitoring social media, and have you been able to tie him to that?
Social media is obviously part of the investigation, but I'm unaware of that post.
How did he come in contact with the victim here in Queen Cities? How did they find themselves in that position?
Via phone. They contacted each other via phone. I'm not sure about their previous relationship, if they had ever been together previously, but I know that he had been visiting another escort the day before.
Well, Chief, has he been tied to any other homicides anywhere in the country?
No, not at this time. That's why we're asking for this help to see if there are any, if there are any other cases that may match this MO.
Chief, will your case get priority since it's a homicide over the Arizona stabbing?
Maricopa County has the case in Arizona. Manhattan District Attorney's Office sent an ADA out there, and they're working that out amongst the prosecutors.
There's a LinkedIn by the guy with the same name that was a cashier at Pride gas station. Do you know if he was working there?
I don't know where his previous employment was, but he has had several incidents where he's been arrested involving gas stations.
Mark?
How long do you think the extradition is going to happen?
The extradition, it could be days, it could be weeks, it could be months. They're going to work that out. The prosecutors will work that out.
So do we know how he got from New York City to Arizona? Do you know if he drove or if he flew? And any chances, I'm sure you guys are looking into this, but possibility that he committed crimes on the way if he was driving?
He was flying. So our timeline is on January 26th, he purchases a plane ticket from Florida to New York. On 1/29, we know he has credit card usage in New York City, so he arrives somewhere in that 3-day span. On 2/6, he visits an escort in Upper Manhattan. Between 2/7 and 2/8, we have our homicide at the Soho Hotel. On 2/12, he flies back to Arizona out of Newark Airport. 2/17, he does the carjacking in Arizona. 2/18, he stabs a woman in McDonald's and is subsequently arrested.
I'm curious about the Florida, you said he posted bail, but are there outstanding warrants in Florida as well?
He has one outstanding warrant, I believe, in Texas for a family offense, but he posted his bail in Florida. He's allowed to leave.
All right, two more.
Chief, have you been in contact with the escort from Upper Manhattan? Is there anything in the records for his prior arrests that talks about or discusses his hatred toward women, why he targets women, et cetera?
The majority of his arrests involved domestic violence and assault. And as far as the speaking to the escort up in Upper Manhattan, we have had contact with her.
You have or you have not?
Have.
And just something about a pattern. Is this something where he's actually looking to seek out some of these women to actually commit violence, taking away those other instances where, he carjacked the woman and the other instances at McDonald's? Or is this something where he just flies off the handle?
In our incident, in our homicide, it seems there was a dispute over the time he was allowed to stay in the room, and that's what caused the outburst, which caused the attack. The incident in Florida, it seems that that one involved more alcohol. He was drinking with the escort and then wouldn't let her leave, so that's where the kidnapping came in. But as far as the pattern goes, that's why we're reaching out to the FBI for their assistance to see if they can help us piece together anywhere else where he may have been where there were similar incidents.
All right, thank you. On this particular incident, because as you can see how important it was, and just glad that Arizona PD got this maniac off the streets. So I know there was a couple off-topic questions. Most of them we will not get into, but they're. But Carlos, what do we have with?
The Gucci.
You want to just?
So the Gucci incident that happened yesterday resulted in the theft of $58,000 worth of merchandise, and our FBI NYPD Joint Major Task Force is handling that case.
John?
Chief, is that case part of a pattern involving high-end stores, this kind of robbery?
We're looking into a crew that might possibly be doing this out of state as well.
How many of you
This is the only one I'm aware of.
The Randall's Island migrant shelter incident.
Yeah, the Randall's Island incident, as we stated earlier, I think we put out a statement on that. It's a sealed incident. We're not going to talk about that. All right? You'd have to reach out to the district attorney's office on that. Anybody else?
I'm sorry, yeah, back to the Gucci incident. There is at least video of an alleged accomplice. Can you just tell me what the role is of the police department? If you have any ideas at all who these people are, or is it part of the organized ring?
Yeah, we're doing our video canvas. We've recovered we've recovered one of the cars involved, so we are going to piece this together. But it just happened yesterday. We're piecing this all together.
Is he talking about Gucci?
Gucci.
You talking about the Gucci?
Yes, Gucci.
Okay, got it. Anybody else? Yep.
Chief, which car, I thought there was only one car that headed to Jersey. There's more than one car?
Yes, that's.
Which car was recovered?
I don't have that, Rock.
And is it
I don't know.
is it believed that the getaway driver or is it just?
Rocco, he just told you, at the follow-up, that there's no real updates on the actual case. He told you what team is investigating, and we don't have much else to update on, all right? John?
Instead of Bronx subway shooting, I know you're looking for a 15-year-old. Can you put out a poster this weekend? Has there been any progress in apprehended incidents?
Yeah, the Joint Regional Fugitive Task Force under the U.S. Marshals is handling that case. As of right now, he's not been apprehended.
Anything else? You have something on Intel related? Yeah. Nobody? Okay.
Regarding to the Trendy Aragua, NYPD confirmed the presence of the Trendy Aragua members in the city?
No, we're not confirming the presence of members in the city. We have had some federal partners who suggested that they may be operating out of New York City. It's something that we're actively investigating, but right now we do not have an incident or a person that we can particularly say is related to that organization. It is possible. It's something that we're actively investigating. All right?
You can say that the members of the Trendy Aragua were involved in the shooting in Times Square and the attack of the two officers?
No. We're not saying that. No.
Just about this gang, is there any, talking about investigative efforts, is there anybody you have in that country, kind of the way you guys are stationed in other countries, that would be able to say, or that just provide intel, saying, okay, these gang members are from this, anything like that?
Yeah, Mark, I talked to Commissioner Weiner earlier, and as you know, we just assigned a liaison down in Colombia, so that's going to help us a lot. But we've always had great relationships with our federal partners, and we're getting solid information from them. And as I just said, they suggested that they could be operating out of New York City and New York State, but we just haven't had an incident or a person that we could particularly point to right now to say they are definitely part of that organization. It's quite possible. All right? So we'll keep investigating, and if it comes up, it comes up. All right? All right, thanks, everybody.